Okay, there we go. We should be good. How is the audio for you guys? Give me a sec while I continue to mess around here with a few things. Let me know if the game audio is also a little too loud. I can adjust that wherever is needed. How are you all doing, man? Thanks for catching the stream. I realize it's a very random, spur of the moment kind of thing, so I don't expect a lot of people to show up tonight. Also, I'm pretty sure not a lot of the people that, well, I should say, like a lot of my viewers may probably not be into this game. They probably want to see me play Bayonetta, and I would like to play Bayonetta. And I will make more content for that soon. But I kind of just want to unwind and play a different game altogether, you know? I think I saw you show your game collection. Was it you? I may have you... I may be mistaking you for someone else, but I know there was another person in my Discord group that posted a bunch of game collections. They recently picked up Ninja Gaiden 2. So, I mean, if that wasn't you, then, you know, what are the odds that a lot of people are already picking up similar games? You know, it's funny. I'm not into card games per se. Like, how do I even begin to explain this? Like, I was never into Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon or any of those kinds of card games. But I did play a good number of them when I was in school. Funny enough, I used to play the Dragon Ball trading card game. I remember that was pretty popular in high school. In high school, we had so much Yu-Gi-Oh! Dragon Ball, Magic. I'm trying to remember what else was big at the time. I don't recall, but yeah. I wasn't into those kinds of card games. I actually enjoy playing card building games or deck building games. Let's see, because when I got out of high school, I started playing a lot of those DC deck building games because one of my friends collected those. So we would play Teen Titans DC deck building along with the X-Men DC deck building and Deadpool and so on and so forth. He used to collect a lot of those cards and we would have a blast. We would always do Friday nights getting together and just having a complete card game session like that. But the funny thing is, even with those card games, I'm not much of a card game player in general. I do like playing poker though, like video poker, you know, because, you know what, when I was growing up as a kid, I had a grandmother. My grandmother was into these poker games like Texas Hold'em and your basic poker sort of thing, and she used to have a little handheld device that played poker. So she had like the little LCD screen that was very cute, and she would always walk around with it, and she would always have me play it. And of course, me being a kid, I don't really know much about how poker works, but you know, she actually gave me the rundown, and over time, I started becoming obsessed with those little poker devices. So when I heard about Balatro and it being like a roguelike poker type game, I figured it'd be fun to try it out, and I ended up picking it up sometime around December when I was in Florida visiting my family and I had my Steam Deck. I decided to pick it up and I ended up becoming really obsessed with Balatro. It's a really fun game. And I already know how the game works. However, you're not going to really see me doing any wild strategies. For the most part, this stream is just more about me relaxing and trying to catch up with my audience and see if anyone is interested in knowing what is actually going on with my own life. I already posted a few stuff online, mostly pertaining to this apartment I'm currently in. Because if you guys don't know, Actually, like, let me actually start playing the game, and I'll move forward and explain to you guys what's going on, you know, as we move forward. For the time being, I'm gonna keep it simple and probably use a blue deck. I like building my hand with every round. It usually helps. It's pretty easy. It's pretty self-explanatory, so let's go with that. Oh, and hold on. I also have the settings of the game speed a little too fast for me. I'll put it down to 3. But yeah, it's a fun game, you know. Hey, Chaser Tech, what's up, buddy? How's it going, man? It's been a while since I've seen you. I know you've been streaming DMC4, and I've been wanting to catch up on your streams, but I just hadn't had the chance. I've been so busy with my own life and whatnot. It's really set to Balrog Sampler. Damn it, I thought I changed that. I swear I did. Hold on, let me fix that. Thank you for letting me know. I saw Balatro. I saw it as Balrog Sampler because that's what my OBS says. Hold on, let me erase that. So I went into Twitch and I changed the info, but for whatever reason, it just decided to stay like that. So let me see if I could change that. Hold on. Yeah, let me get rid of that category. We're gonna change that shit right now. Oh yeah, I noticed you mentioned Solstice, or was it with you? I don't remember. I know someone mentioned Solstice. Okay, here we go. We need to change the... There we go. I swear I changed it. It's so dumb, but there we go. It should say Balatro now. Let me see. I like Vampire Survivors. There was a time when I was super obsessed with that game. Like, majorly obsessed. Hey, Juliet. It's nice to see you guys come in here, man. I'm so thankful that, you know, I still have a decent audience after all this time. I deeply, deeply apologize for not making new content. That is the big problem with living on my own. Or I should say, having made this huge change to live on my own in the first place. It's been almost a year since I came to Buffalo. And it's been the best time of my life. But there have been a few setbacks that has made it a little difficult for me to really spend time here. Like, I don't have my car here. You know, I had to give up my car and give it to my brother because, you know, it was something my mom demanded that I do. So, you know, I gave my car to my brother. And so because I don't have a car, most of the times I'm just walking everywhere in Buffalo. And by the time I get home, the last thing I want to do is play a video game because I'm so exhausted. And I also need to, you know, cook and clean, wash my clothes. I have so much chores to do. It gets to a point where I don't have as much time to play games as much as I would like to, you know. And then there's that situation with, like I had mentioned, me having to move into a different apartment. Because while I was... Because when I moved to Buffalo the first time around, when I came to Buffalo for the first time, I settled on a studio room, a studio apartment that was definitely in my budget. But halfway through the lease, my landlord requested that I move out, and he needed me to move out because they were planning to take that studio apartment and convert it into an office. And that left me weirded out because it's like, why would you set up an apartment for rent if you were gonna plan to use it for something else, you know? And you know, I spoke with the guy and I said, listen, is there any way I can just stay in this apartment at least all the way to the end of the lease? And the guy said, yeah, that's certainly a possibility, but you know, I can't guarantee you that I will renew your lease when the year is up. And, you know, there was so much back and forth around this, and I ended up having to reluctantly move out. My landlord did offer this apartment that I'm in now. And he told me, and I have it in writing, that For the remainder of the lease, when I move into this apartment, I will continue to pay the same price that I was paying originally in my old studio. That's good. That lease is coming into an end, and it's set to expire in March. So I contacted my landlord and I said, okay, I need to renew my lease. In the lease that we wrote up, or he wrote up and I signed off, it specifies that if I intend to renew the lease, that the price would be set no higher than $1,000, which is definitely in my budget. And my landlord is fucking beating around the bush with that, because he was telling me, oh, I can't do that. I know it's in writing, but it says that if the landlord and the tenant agrees to it, then we'll do it. But I don't agree to it, so I won't actually renew it to you for $1,000. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, are you serious? You had me move into this apartment. You had me move into this place because you needed the old studio to be an office, and now you have me in this position where I have no choice but to pay more or just leave. You know, we had so much back and forth discussion, and it got to a point where I had to settle for extending the lease for only 3 months. So I'm only going to be able to pay those 3 months, and then after that, I have to discuss with him how much the actual price is going for, because this is the thing I don't like. He's not telling me how much he's going to raise the price by. And I spoke with my realtor, and she told me that this apartment goes for normally $1,400. And because there's going to be a price raise, it's going to be a 5% increase, which would put it somewhere around like $1,350, $1,450. Which is definitely, I mean, I can pay for that. Okay, I do earn good money, but part of the reason I came here is because I want to try my best to save up a lot of money on my side for a lot of things that I'm going to need in the future, like getting myself a car, getting myself the insurance, all that shit, you know, and see where I go from there. But it's in such short notice that it's very difficult, you know. So I understand landlords don't care, you know, trust me. I know for a fact that landlords don't care. I knew from the start it was not going to be an easy ride. I just wish that it could have gone better than the way it did, you know. I spoke with my coworkers and I spoke with my realtor, and it's very clear that my landlord has plans, and it involves getting me out of this place. So I have time. The way we intend to do this, or I intend to do this, is I'm gonna keep staying here up until the renewal ends, which is set to end at the beginning of, or I should say the end of, let me see, January, February, March, April, May, June. So it ends at the end of June. So what I plan to do is start looking for an apartment right around June, or even a month earlier, and just start going everywhere and see what I can find. And the best thing right now is I will actually be able to get a car before April, because my dad, he left me with his car. The catch is I have to go and pick it up all the way in Miami. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do to get the insurance for that car and get the tag for that car and have it all be reflected under a New York residence, which is me. And then after all of that is settled, I gotta fly out to Miami, get the car, and drive back up to New York. So that is the plan for now. And hopefully with that car, that'll help me expand on my choices on where to live. You know what I mean? I'm trying my best to find a full house here. It's always difficult landing that full house, and already I kind of screwed it up here. Yeah, no, the house marketing is awful, and you know, I don't follow politics as much. I do know that there's going to be some situations going on here involving tariffs and shit, and I'm worried about that. I'm really worried that the government is going to completely screw us over. I mean, as if it wasn't already. I don't want to get into political talk, but all I'll say is the shit show that I've been seeing leading up to the voting and the inauguration is just not something I agree with. Okay, I got myself another full house. We're good on that. It's so difficult to really discuss my own life while playing a game, or one that's like sort of new to me. So, you know, like I like, it's gonna be one of those where I'm too concentrated on either this game or I'm too concentrated on talking shit, you know. That's all right, man. Usually my strategy when it comes to the first round is just trying to get through it with only normal cards so that I can have a decent amount of money and then just focus on multis. And then in the later games, I try to get the cards that give me times mults, you know? Oh yeah, the whole nonsense about TikTok. I hear that they're working to try to get it back. So, you know, hopefully they do. I mean, I'm not into TikTok. I don't have a TikTok app, so it makes no difference for me. But I know that there are people that rely on TikTok for a lot of things. Some people make their money through there. I mean, a lot of music music in general is big because of TikTok, you know, like Sabrina Carpenter. A lot of her music is majorly huge and popular because of TikTok. You know, a lot of people rely on that platform to make a living. So, you know, like I know it's really shitty what's going on, and I'm hoping that, you know, they get that sorted, because the thing that I'm worried about is that if it is so easy to get TikTok banned, imagine any other social media app out there. Imagine stuff like YouTube or some shit like that, you know? Whether it ruined, in your personal view, whether it ruined or not, you can't deny that TikTok is huge, you know? It's a different form of media, no different than how we grew up watching television on TV. It's just that this is a different way of supplying media to people. You know, like from the television to the internet to the streaming to the short samples on our phones. It's not destroying a generation. That's what I mean. I don't know about you, but I don't see it as a destruction of generation. It's just a new generation. Like, if you don't agree to it, then that's fine. But, you know, you can't say that it's destroying anything when it's just a platform altogether. Okay, so I have Lusty Hearts, so I definitely want to try to aim for hearts. That'll at least get me some decent multis, you know. Yeah, and Vine was great. Vine is part of the reason why we have those lo-fi memes, if anything. Because, bruh, like, it's because of Vine that I discovered, what's that name of the artist? Home? Who did that song Resonance, and a person in a Vine account made this really amazing video where it's, you know, Bart and, you know, Bart from The Simpsons, Bart, Nelson, Milhouse, and the other kid, I always forget his name. They're like driving out on the road, and the guy edited that video to play Residence by Home, and it's just such a feel. It's such a great vibe. It's incredible. And, you know, that's how I discovered that musician. And, you know, I love all the songs by Home. It's really good. So Lusty Heart is helping me out now, but I definitely need to pick up more jokers along the way. I try to balance it out where I go for multis, chips, and a multiplication. Like plus, then times. No, first chips, then multis, then times. And then in the middle, I try to sort of get a card that gives me money, because I kind of need the money in the early game, especially when you're playing a deck of card that gives you interests. So if you're over $25, you're always guaranteed 15 bucks at the end of every round. Anime crack videos. That sounds kind of familiar to me, actually. Damn, they're not really giving me any good shit right now. Okay, this one's good. Retriggering Faces. That's really good as an early game card. And, oh, damn, if I had enough money, I could have gotten the Smear as well. But yes, face cards definitely need that to replay a few of these things, especially if they're hearts like the Joker there. Or no, Jack, I mean. Let's see. So I can actually aim for a full house if I'm lucky. And that's the other thing. I also gotta work on thinning out my deck so that I can be able to get the hand that I actually need. Ah! We can do this. Oh, the Spanish one you're talking about? El Donde. El que busca los demonios. Yeah, it's a great video. I remember when I streamed DMC, a lot of my audience was requesting that I put it in Spanish, so I did, and I just ended up doing a Spanish stream altogether. It was kind of weird. I don't usually speak Spanish when it comes to the games that I like. Okay, there we go. Finally, a full house. Takes a while to get those kings and jacks in. Oh yeah, no, YouTube poops are also great. I grew up on that shit, man. Fuck, I remember the very first YouTube poop I saw. It goes way back when it was made by this YouTuber named Electric Cheese, I think his name was. And he did this video called Robotnik Gives Sally the AIDS. And yes, that's an awful title, but that video alone was freaking hilarious to me as a kid. I can't even say kid because I discovered that when I was in high school. What am I saying, kid? Like, Jesus, I'm about to be 40 years old. So when I say I'm a kid, I'm actually talking about my teenage age. Oh, God, it sucks knowing that I'm fucking old. You know what I mean? The thing is, I do speak Spanish. I speak Spanish, but my Spanish is very broken because I grew up learning more English because I lived in an English territory. The only reason I spoke Spanish was because of my family and my coworkers, you know. Nostalgia Flash Game Day. Well, the thing is, I mean, that wouldn't be a bad idea, but a lot of my nostalgia for Flash games comes from Newgrounds, and, you know, there's a lot of very naughty things on Newgrounds that I don't think I can really be streaming. But, you know, I have a long history with Newgrounds. The next Joker becomes a negative, and of course. The next boss is going to be one that disables my heart, so I need to get another card ASAP. Another Joker card that gives me an advantage over that. For now, let me just throw out this flush. And I really, really need the multis. Let's see. Let's get rid of this. Well, yeah, that is definitely a thing, you know. It's a platform. It's not the platform's fault for a lot of things. Ultimately, it has a lot to do with how people game the system, you know, so the people who create the stuff is more to blame. So you're absolutely right when it comes to that stuff. I never played Cool Math, but I did play, I believe, I'm trying to remember. When I was a kid, I used to go to the computer lab in the first grade, and we used to play this computer game called Math Blaster. I think that's what it's called. It was an awesome game because you were like in outer space and you had to shoot these bad guys and they drop numbers and you have to arrange it in a way so that it's like 5 + 6 = that. You know, that's what I grew up with. I wasn't really much about Cool Math, but it was Math Blaster that I was playing as a kid. I believe that's what it's called. Like, look it up. Like, 90s computer game Math Blaster. I might be right on that regards. Have you ever gotten a seed where all your cards were debuffed on that one boss? Are you talking about the one where you have to actually delete a Joker before you can actually progress? Because yes, I have run into that. And usually when I see it coming, what I do is I prepare a fodder Joker so that I can get rid of it without having to worry much about it. But that really does involve planning it out. You always have to look at your blinds, which is something I actually didn't do for this one. I can definitely get the hanging Chad. That might save me a little bit. And see, do I have any uncommon jokers? I do have one. Do I have enough money for it? Yes, I do. So at the very least, I have a multi ready to go, and I have a chance to retrigger my cards. So I can retrigger a face up to 4 times now. Yeah, so all heart cards are debuffed, so let's see if we can make this work. I might have to aim for a flush. We'll see. I was never into Wizard 101. I remember seeing the ads for it everywhere. It was a pretty interesting game from what I recall, though. Like, I remember the ads saying how amazing it was and such and such. Ooh, this is a bad one. Let me get rid of this. Okay, I got something here. Yeah. Let's move the king over so we can get that to activate multiple times. Let's see what we get. Not enough. Oh boy. Well, this is going to be a dud. No biggie. I can always start another run. Well, I can actually throw out another flush. Ooh, 100 points away, actually. I could do this if I'm lucky. Ooh. I have no choice, so I'll probably have to throw out that jack. Oh yeah, I know. Trust me. This is my favorite speed. I like it being fast, but not too fast. I hate when things are going fast because then my mind is processing things too fast, and I try to play through the game really quickly. So don't worry, I know about the game speed. Look, I'll show you. Settings. I have it set to 2. I mean, I can set it to 4, I guess, but I'm not really in a hurry. This is gonna kill me. I could throw out a pair, but it's not going to really repeat the face. So let's go with the jack. Of course. Okay, no biggie. We could do another run. I swear, I'm a lot better at this game. At the beginning of the game, you always want to throw out a flush. Usually guarantees you a win. I can do 2 pairs and that'll get me through. I mean, yeah, I play DMC in turbo mode as well, but it's a little different from this game. You know, this is more strategic. You know, with DMC, it's more about finger manipulation, finger movement. I'll skip that. Let's just move on and see if I get something good out of this. If I get a queen, I can get a straight. Get rid of that. Of course, yeah. There we go. Okay. I'll have to throw out fodder cards. Yeah, let's throw this out. Let's just throw out everything until I get a flush. It's great that DMC3 has a freestyle mode on the Switch version. It's a shame that Capcom never bothered to add that version of the game to the other platforms. I'll never understand why Capcom does this thing where they always release a version of a game on a platform that is not available on other platforms that would make sense for it to be there. Like, I don't understand why the PC version of Devil May Cry 5 doesn't have all of the features that the definitive edition has, or no, not definitive, the special edition version. Like we don't officially have a legendary Dark Knight mode on PC. You have to rely on mods for that. And while, yes, it's easy to mod stuff in, you know, like you can mod in a freestyle mode for DMC3, and it's how a lot of people play Devil May Cry 3 these days anyway, you would think that Capcom would be smart enough to give those features for a wider array of people instead of just, you know, putting this one cool feature into the Switch, but not for PlayStation players and Xbox players. I don't get it. You know, why? I don't get it. Like, why does Capcom do this sort of thing? God, I hate that I'm not getting all the good stuff right from the get-go. There we go. I can get that flush out. Switch exclusive feature is so weird that Capcom did that. I just remember when the PR of Capcom was talking about how the Switch version was going to have a lot of cool features. And I mean, I like that it has those features. It just would be nice if... I don't know, I feel like Capcom didn't want to do it because it was either they patch it in for previous games, but they probably don't have the resources to patch it that easily because it requires a lot of recoding to work. And if that's the case, they probably may have to re-release the game, but since they already released the games on those platforms, why release the same game again with just extra bells and whistles? Then again, you know, I'm not an expert in this sort of thing. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Capcom has their reasons. I just wish they would be a little bit more transparent about why they don't do the things they do. I don't even think that's the case. Like, do people seriously think like this? That they think that console players are so butthurt that they complain until they get something? Because I don't remember Switch players being mad about anything. Because Capcom, when the Switch launched, didn't support the system that well. I don't know. I think Capcom did a great job. I mean, yeah, okay. From the very start, maybe they might not have been doing anything good, but it's all about playing the waiting game. Let's see what I get with this. Diamonds. Okay, so I have multis that work with each other. God, okay, they're not really giving me any good shit right now. Oh, wait, hold on. Full house. There we go, okay. I at least have 2 good cards that can help me out for the boss fight. Actually, let's see, what do we have for the blind here? 0 discards, so I have to go into it full throttle. Okay, Already I got 4 hearts. That's kind of wild. Let's focus on that for a second and see if we get anything. Let's see. Ooh, I have a 3 of a kind ready to go. Let's throw these out, see if I get anything more. Get a full house. There we go. Okay, so we're at least making some progress here. If hand contains flush. Let's see. 0 discards. So, with that in mind, let's see if we could get something. Each queen. Okay. You know what? I'm going to go for broke with that one and start trying to build my deck around a queen deck. I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with rambling, but I just feel like sometimes jumping to the conclusion of some ideas is not a good thing to say. Or do. I mean, I set it to the fastest speed. After we were talking about that, I went and put it to 4. There we go. Okay, now we got something. We got something going here. Okay. Let's try out the Arcana pack. Let's see. Creates up to 2 random tarots. I fucking hate the Wheel of Fortune. I know it's a 1 in 4 chance, but I swear I've picked this card out like 5 times in a row and I never get what I want. Let's try. Watch. It'll just say, nah. You know what? I know this game. It's not going to give me what I want. So I'm just going to throw out 2 random tarot cards. Fuck that noise. While we're here, let's open up the Celestial and maybe try to focus on something here. Sure, why not? I'll set it back just for you. No worries. Let's see, though. I definitely need one more Joker, but I think I could get one in the next round. Let's see. We already got 3. Dude, full house. Right from the get-go. I definitely need a multiplier, though. Well, I have a queen out there now, so... let's see. Hold on. Let's just throw out some of these cards. And okay. I could throw out 2 pairs. Not bad. There's certainly a possibility that Bayonetta 3 can run at 60 frames per second on the Switch too, but it's gonna depend if Nintendo even allows for such a feature. Because here's the thing that I'm worried about, and this is something that nobody seems to be talking about, because everyone just assumes that the Switch 2 is gonna do this, but my thing is, will the Switch 2 actually do that? Like, we know the Switch 2 is more powerful than the Switch 1. We already know the specs. It was leaked. We saw the information. My question is, will Nintendo allow for a feature where if you put in the first original version of the game, you know, on the Switch 1, and you put it in Switch 2, will the Switch 2 run the game natively and make it so that it boosts performance where it needs to, kind of like the Xbox One and Xbox Series X does for their Xbox 360 games? Because here's the thing. I don't think I've ever seen a backwards compatible game from Nintendo that ever gets those kinds of boosts. Like, to give you an example, when you play a Wii game on the Wii U, what the Wii U does is it goes into a different form where it's basically running the Wii as it did natively on the original platform, not taking advantage of what the Wii U could do. You get me? So, is the Switch 2 going to be where when it runs a Switch 1 game, it's just going to run in a mode that's just Switch 1 mode and it runs it exactly the way as it did in the first version of the Switch? Or will there be an option that allows you to unlock the game speed so that it actually gets the benefits? Like, because the one thing about, and that's the other thing I need to bring up, because a lot of games are designed to be locked at a certain frame rate. Because I know a lot of people are also saying, oh, Astral Chain is going to be amazing on the Switch too, because it'll run at 60 frames. But the thing is, Astral Chain is locked to 30 frames. The only way to unlock it to 60 frames is through a coding, which means that Astral Chain would need to get an update through the Switch 2 so that it can run at 60 frames per second. It's not as simple as just making a powerful machine run it because it's locked to 30 frames. Whereas Bayonetta 3 runs up to 60 frames per second, but because of the hardware, it's not always at 60 frames. So if the Switch 2 can run the game unlocked, like let's just assume it does run it unlocked, then that means that we will see Bayonetta 3 running at 60 frames per second. But the question is, will that actually happen? I would like for that to happen. I certainly do, because Bayonetta 3 deserves to run at 60 frames per second. I'm one of the very few people that will defend Bayonetta 3. I like Bayonetta 3. I think its combat is better than 2. I know I can already hear our Bayonetta, the Reddit section just screaming internally with me just uttering that right now. Because I can't even be bothered to go to our Bayonetta anymore. Because every time I go there, it's always a shit ton of circle jerking how amazing 2 is while 3 is shit because, oh no, the ending is awful. And look, I know the story of 3 is shit, okay? I'm not gonna defend that. What 3 did in terms of its narrative is some of the weirdest shit I've ever seen, and it's probably gonna go down as probably one of the worst things PlatinumGames has done in terms of narrative, because they certainly could have done better, but the way they did it was just so out there, you know? And if nothing else, the only thing I could say is that it's meant to challenge the viewers. But this is the thing I hate now, because now people just assume that PlatinumGames are ashamed of what they did with 3, because they're not. PlatinumGames are extremely proud of 3, that I don't see them making any changes, because in our Bayonetta there are people saying that they need to make a Bayonetta 3 definitive edition where they change the ending as an apology for the fans. But it's like, PlatinumGames are not going to apologize to the fans because they don't give a fuck what the fans say. What PlatinumGames cares more about is what they produce. They love Bayonetta 3. If you watch their blogs, their videos, their discussions, it's clear they like what they did. The fans don't, but PlatinumGames does, so they're not going to be doing any adjustments just to please the fan base that hated the ending. Especially with Kamiya, you know, in the back end going, you didn't understand the ending, okay? It's not us, it's you. But whatever, I digress. Putting aside the story and putting aside some questionable things that PlatinumGames has done, I am of the minority that believes that the combat for Bayonetta 3 is actually really, really good. The thing that holds it back is the frame rate and a few other things here and there. Like, there should be an option. This is just me. You know, just me talking here. But there should be an option in Bayonetta 3 that allows you to finish your combos without having any Wing Slave summons. Because one big problem that I kind of do have, it's not huge, it's not a big deal, but every time you finish a combo and it leads into a Wing Slave command, the game always slows down to give you that option to activate the Wing Slave. The way I see it, what they should do, they should take a cue from Wonderful 101 and make it where when you finish, like when you play the game on the hardest difficulty, Non-Stop Infinite Climax, your combos do not get Wing Slave slowdowns, which is to say there's no slow motion, but you still can't activate your Wing Slave. That way you still retain the speed, but you still get the Wing Slave summons if you want to go for that. And one of the change I would like for them to do, and this is something I'm pretty sure not many people are going to understand because not many people play Bayonetta 3 the way I do. Like, I actually know how to combo in Bayonetta 3. Like, you know, when you do those aerial combos. So in Bayonetta 3, when you attack an enemy with your Demon Slave, when you hit an enemy enough times with your Demon Slave, your enemy gets put into a stun You know, like you ever notice how when you break an enemy's health, suddenly the game slows down, the camera moves to the enemy, and it's supposed to signal you that the enemy is now unconscious? This is when you can do air combos with enemies, because you can launch them into the air and juggle them when they're in the stun state. That's a great feature. My only problem is that when you stun an enemy, it doesn't matter if your attack that stunned the enemy is a launcher or if it's something in the air. When you stun an enemy, they tumble over. They tumble over, and I hate that tumble, because that tumble can actually potentially ruin your combo. Wouldn't it be awesome if you launch an enemy and that launcher also stuns the enemy and it makes him go up instead of being tumbled down? That is the one thing I would like for them to fix. I would love for them to get rid of the tumble. At the very least, make it where the enemy only tumbles when they're standing. But if you launch them in the air and you're doing these aerial combos with your demon slaves and they go into a stun state, just make it so that they go directly into the stun state instead of tumbling straight to the ground. Do you know what? That's another thing. The Umbran Spear, I don't like the Umbran Spear, but look, hey, I do gotta explain here something. There is a reason why the Umbran Spear was nerfed, and it's because of your magic meter. Because the big problem with Bayonetta 3's magic meter is that the magic meter that you have refills. It's not like in Bayonetta 1 and 2 where you have to fight enemies to build up your magic. In Bayonetta 3, you always have your magic meter because that's what determines what your enemies do. But because this magic meter is, you know, connected to your demon slaves, that means that the abilities that used to waste magic don't waste magic anymore. So those needed to be nerfed in some way to compensate for the fact that there's no magic attached to them. So it kind of makes sense why they went in that way, why they went in that route. That being said, I do wish Umbran Spear would get a buff. My problem with Umbran Spear isn't even the fact that you're not able to do it multiple times in the air. You know, I can accept the fact that you can only do one Umbran Spear in the air, but I would like it if you can at least do 2 Umbran Spears, one for each weapon in the air. Because as it is, if you try to do an Umbran Spear in the air, or I should say, if you do an Umbran Spear in the air, that's it. You cannot do another one until you touch the floor. But that's weird to me because your Umbran Spear is dependent on what weapon you're using. So if you're using, let's say for example, the anchor weapon, the one that turns Bayonetta into a squid, and you do an Umbran Spear, she does the squid spear. So wouldn't it be cool if while you're doing your air combo and you did the squid spear, you switch to another weapon? Like let's say the Gamora, the G pillar, and then you could do one more spear based on the G pillar weapon. Wouldn't that be great? Where you get 2 Umbran Spears, but you need to use it for each weapon. That would be a good idea. That would at least help give you a little bit more mobility with the Umbran Spears instead of just giving us one because it no longer has any magic attached to it. I want that. And it's unfortunate that PlatinumGames didn't think that through. Let's see. You know, I wish there's a lot of things about 3 that I can complain about, but I'll still say that 3's combat is good. I like 3's combat. I will defend it until I die. Okay, I have death, so let's go ahead and use that. Get ourselves a queen. And let's make it so that the fool can become death. And that way I can continue making more queens. Let's see. Add a negative, but I lose a hand. I don't want that. Let's add a gold seal to the king. I do apologize whenever I go into tangents because holy shit, I can say a lot of things while not playing video games. I should just make podcasts instead of playing a game while I talk. What do you guys think? I wouldn't mind actually running a podcast at some point in the future. Let's see. I could totally... Let's see. I have 9, 9, 10... I could definitely aim for a spade. I understand your frustration with Wonderful 101. Trust me, you're not the only person to complain about it. Hell, I have a friend who is really good at Ninja Gaiden, and he is probably one of the better action games players out there. And he's really good at giving his opinions about action games. Like, he goes by the name of Rang. He's super good. He's really swell. He's a very chill dude. I can count on him when it comes to talking about action games. And he has discussed Wonderful 101. And he acknowledges that the game is really good, but it's not for him. So it's just one of those where, like, if you want to really get good at Wonderful 101, you are well within your right to keep practicing and doing your best to get good at it. But if you find it's not a game that vibes with you, there is no shame in, you know, putting a stop to it, because admittedly, Wonderful 101 is just one of those out there games where you just have to really play it for hundreds of hours to really get it. It's a miracle that the Wonderful 101 is one of my favorite games, because would you guys believe me if I told you Wonderful 101 is my very first action game I ever got into? I was not into Bayonetta when it first came out. I played it when it came out. I hated it because I wasn't good at it. I skipped out on Vanquish. I skipped out on Metal Gear Rising. Those games just didn't appeal to me. But when I heard about the Wonderful 101, the thing that sold me about that game was the concept. The idea that you can draw a shape to make a weapon was so amazing to me that I was willing to stick it out through thick and thin so that I can have fun with it. And it just so happens that it's a game that's rooted in its complete Hideki Kamiya action traits. And it's because of my love of the Wonderful 101 that made me go back and try out a lot of other action games similar to Wonderful 101. And it's why I love action games as a whole today. You know, I will never be a world champion at Devil May Cry 3 or Devil May Cry 4 or Ninja Gaiden. Maybe I won't even be the best Bayonetta player in the world. But I can tell you for 100% certainty that the Wonderful 101 is my baby. And it's the one game that I will never get bored of playing. It is amazing. It is the game that gives me the absolute high that I always crave whenever I jump into a video game. I understand why it's not a game for everyone. It's a shame when I see people give up on it. I do my best to help people out, and I will say I have failed in that department because I was supposed to make tutorials and guides and everything that pertains to that game to try to teach people how to get good at it, but I just never got around to it because I have an adult life. It's very difficult trying to balance my adult life with my love for video games. Now more than ever because I live on my own. So yeah, don't let it get to you if the Wonderful 101 is not your game. Okay, but if you want to keep trying, by all means do it. But don't force yourself to like a game if you just don't see yourself actually enjoying it in the long run. Four of a kind. I don't really get much four of a kinds in general. Let's see. I could sort of... I just need a multi, like a times multi right about now. I only have regular multis. And that's annoying because I need the multiplication. But this might actually help me out just a tad bit. Let's see, what am I up against? Cards face down after each hand is played. That might be tricky. Let's look at some arcanes. Let's see. No queens, but I can definitely just use more money. Hermit. Well, I don't really need Hermit right now. No queens again. That's annoying. I can give 2 cards bonuses, so let's go ahead and do that. I'll give it to the kings. The kings will support the queens. And because I'm desperate, I'll put in this card. But I am going to replace it with another card soon. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let's get rid of this 3. Make it a queen. Yeah. Let's see. Let's get rid of some of these cards. See if we can get something better. Yes, we are definitely getting something better. If I can get another ace, that might actually help me out a lot. Nah, let's shoot out the 3 of a kind. With the queens. So that means I'll get quite a lot of multis out of this. I'm predicting maybe a 3,000 point score. No, straight to 5,000. Not bad. Ha ha ha. I'm still in the game, baby. Let's see. Run info. What's my next one? The wall. I'm definitely gonna need to get a times multiplier. Okay. But for now, I kind of have a good hand going. Oh, Mario Wonder's a great game. My brother was obsessed with it when it came out. I was playing the game with him, and I could see why it's such a great game. Let's see, we got 2 jokers. I could probably play a full house if I'm lucky. Not quite, but I can still throw it out. Ooh boy, this is not good. I can throw out a flush. There we go. If I had a smear, this would help me out a lot, actually. Hearts. I love that. I could somehow get all the cards in. I probably could get rid of the swashbuckler for the hearts. Yeah. That might help a bit. Let's get the Arcana, see what we get. Oh, I could get a legendary Joker. I'll get rid of this one. Let's see what legendary Joker I produce. Play kings and queens, each gift. Okay, now we're talking. Okay. We got something. Alright. Destroy 1 card, get a bunch of enhanced aces, but I don't need that. I just need kings, queens, and jokers right now. If anything, I need kings and queens, no jokers. 1 selected card in hand. I will give it to the king. So now I gotta start thinning out my deck as fast as I can. Wow. Right off the bat, they don't give me any kings or queens. Let's see. Yeah, the probability is very low on my end. I gotta start thinning out my deck ASAP. But what I could do is no, those would be clubs. I could change these to clubs. I'll go ahead and do that. Throw out a flush. And funny enough, I do not have a joker that helps with clubs. But now I could throw out this. I'll put the queen at the end so I can get the multiplier. Let's do that. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. I'll play this hand. Oh boy. If I can get a full house, this might be a good run. There we go. Woo! Nice. Very nice. But man, am I low on cash. Let's see. Let's produce some planets. It's never a bad thing to produce planets, but I usually leave those as last. Strength. Steel card. Damn. They're not giving me much here, but I can give these bonuses. Oh yeah. I will say, it's a shame that the Switch 2 does not have OLED, and I am a little weirded out by that. But I think it's more a matter of Nintendo doing their best to make a product that's affordable for their audience. Which makes sense, you know, that's always been their route. You know, so I always find it funny when people are like saying the Switch is like terrible when it comes to performance. And okay, yeah, if you compare it to the bigger monsters, of course, but that has never been Nintendo's intention. If you want power, get a PC, you know. But if you just want simple gaming with fun little mascots and whatnot, you know, Nintendo's always been a good choice. Extra large blind. Okay, so for this to work, we need to settle on... we have to get the kings and queens to step in. I'll play this hand so I can throw out the cards. Okay. Okay, we're getting there. Hahaha. Just gotta be very careful. Did the chat die? I got a message saying that something went wrong. Let me see for a second. I apologize. I'm just checking out of my stream because apparently my Twitch network went down. No, I think we're back online. Okay. Well, whatever. It was just a weird hiccup. Alright. I got a good hand here. Let's do this. I don't know. A lot of people seem to act like there's going to be a sequel for Astral Chain, but the reason why people assume that is because of the statement that the director said where they wanted to make an Astral Chain trilogy. The thing is, though, that was a mistranslation. It's not that they want to make a trilogy in the sense that they want to make 3 games like Astral Chain 1, 2, and 3. Their intention was they wanted to build a game that felt like a trilogy in one package with Astral Chain's narrative. And I remember when IGN made that article, the director had to correct it on Twitter. But unfortunately, with that article, a lot of people just thought that Platinum Games meant that they were going to make 3 Astral Chain games when that was not actually their intention. Could they make an Astral Chain sequel? It's possible. It's absolutely possible. The game was developed by a bunch of new, fresh developers. Because I know a lot of people are like freaking wigging out over the rumors that have been going on online recently about how there have been a lot of developers leaving Platinum Games. That's true. A lot of developers have left Platinum Games. But people seem to think that what that means is everyone left. But no, that's not what's happening. What's happening is only the big name developers have stepped down. We know Kamiya left. We know Hashimoto left. We know Abebe left. That's Tinara Abebe, I believe that's his name. We know that... Who else left? A lot of significant people from Platinum Games left. But this is a studio that's made up of 320 members. You know, it's not like everybody left. It's only the big name devs that stepped down. While Platinum Games will continue doing their business as usual. But, you know, everyone online is panicking. Everyone is doom posting. Everyone is saying that Platinum Games is dead. We'll never get another Bayonetta game. We'll never get another Astral Chain of such and such and such and such. And it's like, it's so annoying. Like, I understand there's reasons to be worried. I'm not saying don't worry, because we still need to see what Platinum Games is planning. But I don't think it's as bad as many people are making it out to be. Yeah, Bayonetta 3 is a sequel to Astral Chain, but you know very much well that's not really what people want. Let's see. I think my Jokers are good, but it would be so great if I could get a negative Joker and it ends up being a good one. I'm so tempted to get it, but probably not. I'll skip out on that. Even if it didn't sell well, that's not really the basis for making a new Bayonetta game. That's something else I need to bring up. Because I hear a lot of people saying like, oh, Bayonetta 3 did well or it sold poorly. I mean, a lot of people have their interpretations of what is good and what is bad. To me, a game like Bayonetta selling 1 million copies within the month of its release is really good. But when you compare it to other games, it's certainly not an impressive feat, especially when you have games like Nier Automata that made it to, like, I think 100 million sales. I think it was 100 million. I could be wrong. I know they made a tweet celebrating the numbers, and it's a very high number. But the thing you need to understand is Bayonetta was never a franchise built around sales. Okay? It was never built around sales. If it was built around sales, we would never have gotten a sequel in the first place. Okay? Because the thing is, and Sega even stated this themselves. I have the article saved because I hate when people keep saying, oh, Sega is lying or Sega doesn't care about Bayonetta. Sega actually does care about Bayonetta. But you also have to understand that Bayonetta is rooted in its niche territory. Bayonetta is always going to be a niche franchise. Sega knows this. So when they secured Platinum Games to produce Bayonetta, Sega made sure to give Platinum Games the support that they needed, and that the money that they get out of that game would be what Sega pays them up front. Not because Platinum Games, believe it or not, Platinum Games does not get any revenue from the sales of Bayonetta. They don't make any money from the games that they sell. The only money they make is from the merch and from the games that they themselves publish, which in this case would be Wonderful 101 and Sol Cresta. But games like Bayonetta, Nier Automata, Metal Gear Rising, Platinum Games does not get a single dime out of that. They don't. Okay? So what happens is Sega will support Platinum Games and give them what they need. And Sega plays to the strength of the niche audience by releasing Bayonetta alongside a number of other games for players to be interested in. You know, because Bayonetta 1 came out at a time when Sega was being very experimental in giving their money to many different developers. Because Bayonetta came out right around the time when Resonance of Fate was also coming out, which was another game that Sega had supported CUHRAYZEE on, you know? So Sega knows their niche audience. That was their strategy back then. Unfortunately, it wasn't a working strategy, mostly because of their parent company, Sammy, doing some weird shit. I'm trying to remember what it was that Sammy did, but I know a lot of it was attributed to the fact that they were not selling well in their hardware division, because Sammy also produces arcade cabinets in the Japanese territories. And unfortunately, arcade cabinets were not selling well at the time. And so Sammy was going into this huge financial rut, which forced Sega to cancel a lot of projects, which included Bayonetta 2. But you know the whole story here. Platinum Games wanted to find another publisher to help get the game going, and they asked Sega if they could do it, and Sega allowed them to do it because Sega had already put down money into Bayonetta 2. They were supporting Bayonetta 2. It's just that they couldn't afford Bayonetta 2. That's why they canceled it. It's not because Sega hates Bayonetta. That's the thing I always hate about these people online. People love to just say that Sega hates everything. They don't. They are supportive, but they also know what makes them money and what doesn't make them money. Hold on. Am I disconnecting? Hold on. I want to make sure that I am connected. Are you guys online? Are you able to see this? I'm noticing that I'm getting disconnects. It could be because it's snowing out there, and I know for a fact that we're going to have a lake effect snow, which is going to be a bit of a problem for me tomorrow morning trying to get to work. I go to work by walking, and if there's a lot of snow blocking my door, I'm probably going to have to call in sick. But anyway, yeah, I want to sort of get this information out of the way. Look, Sega supports Platinum Games. They do support Bayonetta, but Bayonetta is not a high-selling game. It's not. Sega knows this. It's part of the reason why they canceled the project up front. They needed to find some way to save money. But that didn't mean that they didn't care for Bayonetta, because they did allow Platinum Games to find another publisher, which ended up being Nintendo. So now, this is the winning strategy. Because Bayonetta is a niche franchise, and it's a niche franchise that is supported by two companies, Sega and Nintendo, that means that if there's a new Bayonetta game coming out and it doesn't sell well, it doesn't harm Sega, it doesn't harm Nintendo. And that's what allows Bayonetta to keep going. Remember when Bayonetta 2 came out on the Wii U? It was announced that because it was on the Wii U, it sold poorly. If I remember the numbers, it only made it up to 600,000 copies sold, which is very low. Like, it's very low. Not the most impressive numbers. And yet, despite it not selling well, they still went ahead and made Bayonetta 3. Because Nintendo knows how to target its audience. Nintendo is focusing on all sorts of different audiences. You know, the reason why Nintendo picked up on Bayonetta was because they wanted more M-rated games for their Wii U library. Because when Platinum Games, let me put it to you like this. When Nintendo was developing the Wii U, they were also scouting for any developers that would be willing to release any M-rated games for the Wii U, and that Nintendo would publish those games for them. One of those games was Devil's Third. So imagine you're a company, you need more M-rated games, and suddenly Platinum Games walks up to your door and say, hey, we need somebody to help us produce this sequel that happens to be an M-rated game. Would you like to help us? And Nintendo was like, yeah, give it to us. And you know, that's what ended up happening. To the dismay of a lot of people, because I know people don't like that Bayonetta is a Nintendo exclusive. Trust me, I don't like it any more than you guys do. But without Nintendo, we wouldn't have had these sequels. My only hope in the future is that at some point, you know, Nintendo and Sega can come up with a way to collaborate so that we can get these sequels on other platforms, especially the PC. I would like to see that. Platinum Games would like to see that. It's all going to depend on how Nintendo views this whole ordeal. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but you also need to understand that this is the best position for Bayonetta. It really is, because again, you have Sega, you have Nintendo supporting this one game. Two companies, well, three, because Platinum Games also develop it. So you have three companies supporting this one game. And that's what helps keeps the franchise afloat. It's the best option. That's why I don't like it when people say Nintendo should just buy Bayonetta, because Bayonetta is basically an IP. I hate when people say basically, like fuck you if you say that. No, it's not as basic as you make it sound. Could Nintendo buy Bayonetta? They certainly would, or they certainly could, but why would they want to? You know what I mean? Because that's a lot of money that they're paying up just to own a series that they're already licensing out so that they could publish for a cheaper price. That's what helps Bayonetta stay afloat. By renting out this game from Sega, Nintendo doesn't lose the money from this whole ordeal. That's why I like the situation that Bayonetta is in, because that means we can get more games out of this regardless if it sells well or not. So yeah, Origins didn't sell well, I know 3 did, but we don't need to rely on sales for the future of Bayonetta. But it's also important to note that because Platinum Games is undergoing a new facelift, with so many devs leaving and so many new devs coming in, it does make you wonder, what is this gonna mean for Bayonetta in general? And to be honest, the worst that can happen is Bayonetta becoming something that's completely different, which we already experienced with Bayonetta Origins. Origins is very different from your Bayonetta trilogy, and it ended up being a really good game. It still felt like a Bayonetta game. It felt like a Platinum Games game, just one that was also very experimental. You know, if anything, Bayonetta Origins feels like the kind of experimental stuff that you would see Platinum Games do when they work on games such as Wonderful 101. That's why it's not a surprise to me that Bayonetta Origins did not sell well, because even with the Bayonetta name attached to it, this game is so different that it left people wondering if it was good or not. You know what I mean? And I know I go on tangents like this. Again, I always go on these fucking tangents, but I need to get this stuff out there. That's what, man, I would like to make podcasts and just video discussions where I just dump this shit on you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I need to make discussion videos. For now, all I can really do is stream. Alright, let's see if I can get this working. I already have a full house with kings and queens. We can do this. We can do Yeah, look at that. That works out in my favor. But we still gotta get those kings and queens. Let's see, celestial packs. Well, if we could beef up if we could beef up Full House, I would. But unfortunately, all I see here is Uranus. Ah, come on. It's not even giving me Earth. It keeps giving me Uranus. I don't like Uranus. Maybe in another distant future, I could pick out Uranus. Let's see. Voucher. Nah. Alright, let's do this. There we go. Yeah, the queens will help out with the multiplier. Ooh, okay, we're getting something here. Let's get rid of this. I need that king. I need that king so badly. There we go. Oh, here we go. Yes, another full house. Oh yeah, that is the other problem. I should mention that. It's a game that definitely doesn't look like a $60 game. How do I say it? Bayonetta Origins, I don't know whose decision it was. It was mostly it's most likely Nintendo, because I don't see PlatinumGames ever telling Nintendo what to put their price at. But I do think Nintendo made a big mistake putting Bayonetta Origins at $60. It should not have been a $60 game. It should have been at most $40. But this is Nintendo, you know, they know that people will buy their games on the Switch platform, so they'll put it at whatever price they want. Although in this case, Nintendo should have known that because Bayonetta is a niche series, they could have put it at an affordable price for the hardcore audience. I don't know. They could have done better. Because of Devil's Third being one of the last non-ported games. You know, it's funny though, because Devil's Third came out on PC, but nobody noticed. But unfortunately, the servers for the PC version is dead. Yeah, no, Nintendo's greedy, but they're only greedy because they know how to play the game. Okay? That's just how it is. People will fork over. If they don't fork over, Nintendo would put their games at an affordable price. But because people will still pay, Nintendo sees no reason why they should lower the price. It sucks, but that's just how it is. Yeah, it's an average price. It would suck though if they would have put it at 70. I don't see why they would, but it would have been scary if they did. Come on, give me a full house. Give me 2 kings. Oh God, why are you doing this to me, man? There we go. That's what I needed. There we go. Man, I gotta really build out my deck. I don't have much kings and queens on me. Okay, arcane. Let's do this. Let's see if we could get something out of this. Okay. Increase the ranks. That would be good if these were at 10s. Or bleh. I'll go with planet cards. It keeps giving me Jupiter. I don't need Jupiter, damn it. But whatever, I'll use these up. Let's get a little bit more money. And... well, no. Tarot cards. Let's see if we get anything out of this. Cherry. Well, that can help. Maybe. Let's give it to... Let's give the gold... Oh no, it turns it to gold. We'll give it to Joker. I'm sure Platinum Games is more than capable of it. Even with their new devs at hand, you know, I'm sure that they are hiring them with the idea that... I'm sure that the Platinum Games team is hiring more employers to be able to follow in their footsteps of the kinds of games that they've made before. You know, the future is still open. I'm very positive about it. There we go. Ha ha ha. Good old full house. Never fails me yet. There we go. And I'm also getting a good interest. Death! Yes, give me death. Alright. Let's put that death to good use. There we go. Now we got two. We got an additional queen. We could always get more money. No Kamiya, no Bayonetta. Well, I mean... Look, man. I understand that Kamiya is super important and vital to the Bayonetta franchise. Okay? But if we could have a fantastic Devil May Cry series without Kamiya involved, we certainly can for Bayonetta. I'm curious to see how Platinum Games could make a Bayonetta game without any aid from Kamiya. At the very least, it wouldn't hurt to see them try. And who knows, if it ends up being really good, that means that we could have a great future with this new line of Bayonetta games without Kamiya involved. I love Kamiya, trust me. I would love to see Kamiya always stick around with Bayonetta. But it was pretty clear, ever since Bayonetta 2, that Kamiya would not give the magic, did not bleed his magic into the games the way he did with the first Bayonetta game. So these Bayonetta games will always go in a different route. It's always going to be like that. I mean, 1 and 2 and 3 are completely different games from one another. 2 is very different from 1 in a lot of ways, and 3 is even more different. So, you know, I could see Bayonetta 4 being so extravagantly different that people will end up enjoying it a lot. That's me being, you know, positive. I like being positive. You know, especially since, you know, I do try my best to remain reserved and look at the articles and try to make note of everything that's going on rather than just listening to what the internet says. Because the thing I've come to hate about Twitter and a lot of social media is that people just like to jump the gun and assume things by piecing together multiple truths, put it together and make a lie out of that. Like how, you know, there's rumors, which is true, by the way, that Platinum Games wants to make a new live service game. And I know people don't like that. I know people don't like that, especially with the failure of Babylon's Fall. But I need to make this clear because a lot of people just likes to use Babylon's Fall as the scapegoat here. The reason why Babylon's Fall failed had nothing to do with live service. It had more to do with the fact that the game was just really, really boring. If you didn't know that Babylon's Fall was a game being made by Platinum Games, if you didn't know, it could have just easily flown under the radar. Okay? If you were never a Platinum Games fan, you would have never known anything about Babylon's Fall because that game literally has no identity attached to it. Nothing about it that makes it stand out, that makes you go, yes, I am buying this game. Nothing about it made you want to buy it. I mean, even the early previews made you think, oh, this is going to be a run-of-the-mill Platinum Games air combo game. But even that didn't end up happening. They got rid of the air combos after they showed off the first trailer. You know what I mean? The big problem with Babylon's Fall is more just the fact that it lacked identity, and as a result, nobody was willing to play it. I played it, and in my experience, the game was just slow and monotonous. Because it tried to be this really cool cooperative dungeon crawler game, but it felt more like Platinum Games trying to follow a trend rather than Platinum Games doing what they do best. Because yes, Babylon's Fall has combos, but they're very held back. As a matter of fact, I remember when I was playing the beta test of Babylon's Fall, one of the strategies that players discovered early on was jump cancels, where if you hit an enemy with a hammer, you could jump after the hammer, so you could cancel your cooldown animation and do it again. So hammer, jump, hammer, jump, hammer, jump. And it proved to be a very good strategy. So you know what happened? Square Enix actually made a tweet saying that they were going to patch the game and get rid of jump cancels. Imagine patching out jump cancels in a Platinum Games game. Doesn't that sound like backwards thinking to you? That is so anti-action games that it makes me wonder who the hell wanted Babylon's Fall after that. And it's not because of live service garbage, you know? At worst, the only thing live service stuff did for Babylon's Fall was get you really cool skins like the Nier Automata thing that they did. But even that wasn't enough to keep Babylon's Fall afloat. As it is, it was a game that nobody cared. It was stuck in this horrible perpetual cycle of hatred for many reasons, and one of it just happens to be live service. You know what I mean? Oh, it's a boring game. Oh, it's so monotonous. They got rid of the action stuff. And in there, somewhere in there is also the fact that it just happens to be live service. But that itself ended up being the takeaway. So now whenever Platinum Games says that they're interested in live service, all anyone says is, oh no, don't do that. Remember what you did with Babylon's Fall? Yeah, I remember Babylon's Fall. Don't make a boring game. That's it. Look, obviously there are issues with live service, okay? Because someone mentioned it here, Rumbleverse. I fucking love Rumbleverse. That game was one of my most favorite games to play of 2022 or 2023. I don't remember anymore. That game was so incredible that I was willing to just... Well, okay, no, I'm not even going to go that far. But there was a time where I actually considered making Rumbleverse content, like combo videos or guides and stuff like that, because I thought Rumbleverse really had a lot going for it. It's a great game. It was a great game. Unfortunately, because it was a live service game that not many people were playing, Epic Games felt it necessary to pull the plug on it. And it broke my heart when I found out about that, because there was no game like Rumbleverse. The closest you're going to get to something like Rumbleverse, I guess, would be Anarchy Reigns. But even then, I would say surprisingly enough, Rumbleverse has better combos than Anarchy Reigns. I wanted to see Rumbleverse grow, and it was going to grow. We were heading into Season 3 with that game. There was rumors about, you know, this giant squid terrorizing the city, and they were hyping that up in the game's narrative. Believe it or not, there's a story in Rumbleverse, but it's mostly told through the city, you know, kind of like Fortnite and shit. And we were supposed to have like this giant squid that we were going to fight against, but that never happened. Oh, what I wouldn't give to play Rumbleverse again. But yeah, that's kind of the danger when it comes to live service games. If it's not popular, it's better to just pull the plug and never play it ever again. And that's horrible in today's gaming generation. Imagine being told that your most favorite game, the game that you love, is something you can never play ever again. That's heartbreaking. Imagine being told you can never play Bayonetta ever again because they got rid of it from the service, and if you try to put in the disc, you get patched out or something. Like, what the fuck? That's the problem with live service. That's what I hate about live service. It's not the micromanaging, it's not the money, it's not any of that shit, because you can have a good live service game. I mean, Fortnite, Zenless Zone Zero, whatever that game is called, Genshin Impact, those games thrive on live service, and it has an audience because those games are ultimately really good. But the problem with live service is that if it's not popular enough, it could just go the way of the dinosaurs. Again, I keep going on tangents. But you know how it is. At this point, you guys are used to it. I also want to add, because I was leading up to something, but I forgot to mention this. Like I said before, I don't like when people gather multiple truths and put it together and make a lie out of that. Like I said, Platinum Games are interested in making more live service games. They are also interested in making more Bayonetta games. So of course, people are now making this rumor that the next Bayonetta game is going to be a live service game. That is not at all what Platinum Games are planning to do. And even if they could, they wouldn't be able to, because the idea of live service is down to the publisher. So Nintendo would have to request for it to be live service, or in this case, maybe tell Platinum Games, no, don't do that, and they'll abide. So you're not going to get a live service Bayonetta game. You will get a brand new IP from Platinum Games that's probably going to dabble in live service. And hopefully, you know, Platinum Games do learn their lessons from Babylon's Fall, and not the takeaway being that it was live service. If they want to make a live service game, go ahead, but make sure it's a damn good game that'll get people invested in. That's the most important thing. And to be honest, I definitely think Platinum Games has what it takes to make an amazing live service game. If anything, they should take cues from what they did with Anarchy Reigns. Make a Anarchy Reigns Rumbleverse inspired online matchmaking game where people are beating the shit out of each other using all sorts of Platinum Games skills. I mean, imagine if you will, a game made by Platinum Games that's a brand new IP, okay, a brand new IP, has nothing to do with Bayonetta, nothing to do with those games, but it's an online arena game, just like Anarchy Reigns, where players jump into the arena and beat the shit out of each other. But the catch is, you can customize your characters to have fighting traits from the games that Platinum Games made. Imagine building out a character that fights like Bayonetta, or imagine building out a character that fights like Raiden. Imagine building a character that plays like the Wonderful 101. You get to customize your character to be the Platinum Games character that you always desired. And you go into the arena and you start battling other players. Wouldn't that be the coolest shit in the world? You know that would be what people would want. Because people are always begging for a Metal Gear sequel, a Metal Gear Rising sequel, a Bayonetta sequel, Wonderful 101 sequel. Well, how about making a smorgasbord Platinum Games game where you make the Platinum Games game that you want with your fighting style? You go online, you try to make your Bayonetta character, but you run into the king who built his character out of Raiden with little bits of traits of Sam. And you gotta beat his ass online. And if you beat him, then you are a better Platinum Games player than the man who created Raiden. Wouldn't that be fucking sick? But I digress. In a perfect world, we would have such an awesome game like that. But we'll just have to wait and see what Platinum Games really do intend to make. My biggest worry is that Platinum Games has good intentions, but people are going to hate the game because, well, I mean, this is the thing that I dislike about the gaming audience. People have extremely high expectations out of Platinum Games because of the one game that they played from Platinum Games. You know what I mean? There's people that always beg for a Metal Gear Rising sequel, a Bayonetta sequel, a Nier sequel, an Astro Chain sequel. And I'm sure Platinum Games would love to make a sequel. But because of the position that they're in, they're more about trying to make new stuff. So unfortunately, whenever they make something that they like, the audience immediately hates it because it's not what they expected. Remember when Soul Cresta came out? People immediately scoffed at it because, oh, it's a shooter. Why is Platinum Games making a shooter when they should be making a Nier Automata sequel? So that's the thing that is worrying me about Platinum Games' future. Platinum Games wants to go in a different direction and make something they want. But it sounds to me that if they do go in that direction, they'll probably fail because they're not going to garner the audience that expects them to make the game that they want to make, or that the audience wants Platinum Games to make. You know what I mean? That's why I'm throwing down the idea that they should make this amazing arena battle game where you get to create your Platinum Games character with the traits of how these characters fought in their games. You know what I mean? And you know, I would like if they did make a new Anarchy Reigns sequel, but the reality here is that Sega owns Anarchy Reigns, and you know, as much as I defend Sega, this is the one time where I will badmouth Sega. I hate that Sega sabotaged Anarchy Reigns for literally no reason, and we will never know why. I don't know if you guys remember, but when Anarchy Reigns was coming out, originally, it was supposed to have a worldwide release, and we even had a release date for it. But a few days before its release date, Sega decided to cancel the release date of the American release of Anarchy Reigns, and they held off on it for a whole year for no reason. Meanwhile, the Japanese players got to play the game firsthand. And the people that really wanted to play the game immediately in the US had to settle with importing the game for the PS3 because the PS3 was region free. And it took a whole year for the game to come out. And by then, a lot of people had lost interest. And as such, Anarchy Reigns failed. Not because it was a niche game, but because for some reason Sega delayed the game and they never marketed afterwards. So to me, that sounds like a clear sabotage. We'll never know why they did it, but it's just one of those where it makes me question why Sega does these things. I love Sega, I really do, but when they do these stupid things, I will call out on it. Them hating Bayonetta is not true. Them sabotaging Anarchy Reigns is true. Two things can be right. Some things can be wrong. But sometimes the things that are wrong is only wrong because people interpret it as such. That's why when you go online and you talk about Bayonetta, there's always going to be those people saying, oh, you know, Sega hates Bayonetta. They abandoned Bayonetta. They let Nintendo buy it. That's not what happened. Sega actually willfully allowed Platinum Games to find another publisher because Sega had already put down their money for it and they didn't want the game to go to waste. That is the truth. But, you know, people like making up shit online. Oh, I don't know the date, man. I forgot. Look it up on Wiki. I can't do it right now. What was I doing? Oh, yeah, I was playing Balatro, wasn't I? Finally, I found Earth! Freaking finally. The full house that I desperately needed. Okay, where are we at now? Okay, upcoming is this, and the final boss battle will be where the diamonds are debuffed. Okay, damn, that's not gonna be easy, but we could do it. Okay, we got plenty of queens right now. I mean, that might be a reason. Maybe they thought it might not sell well, so they held it back so that they could make it not sell well. What? I don't know. Look at all those queens. Alright. The jokers, not jokes, jacks, are not really going to work in my favor here. But I can give this 5 a multi. So at the very least, I can get something working here. Ah, come on. Give me something good, man. 5 queens. That's actually kind of sick. But I do want to go for a full house and see how much that'll cost. Yeah, who knows what they're thinking, you know? There we go. Finally, we get to throw out another full house, baby. Set it on fire, baby. Yeah, 5 queens. I'm trying to get as much queens as I possibly can, too. Oh, we got a death here. Okay, awesome. I can definitely swap that out. Give me that. More kings, baby. Spectral pack. Ooh, yes! Okay. Ah, we're moving on up. We got more queens in our deck. Come on. Nah. I think I'm good. All diamonds are debuffed, so unfortunately I gotta figure out a strategy here. For now, let's just throw out these cards, see what I get. Oh, I remember Quantum Theory. I remember that. Okay, I can definitely throw out a full house right now. And the good thing is, no diamonds in sight. Let's see, how much for a 4 of a kind? Well, I haven't been beefing up that one, so we'll go with this one. Let's put this at the end. There we go. Ha ha ha! It's working! Let's get them bonus cards in. Let's see if we can buy anything here. We can definitely get a Joker. We can also level that up if we get the strength. I see Uranus. But honestly, I'm not interested in Uranus. I am interested in Earth, though. Oh, aces. Well, I mean... honestly, I don't need that, you know. I should buy this in order to get a discount on the cards. Okay. Alright. We can do this. Let's see. Yeah, let's go for it. Whew. Well, unfortunately, the Triboulet only works on kings and queens, so the jacks are probably gonna have to be thrown aside. But I can make them bonus cards. No, let's settle on later cards as bonuses. Okay, I already got a full house ready to go. Let's make these bonuses. But just in case also, because I don't have the clubs card. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Much better. There we go. Not bad. Man, they're not giving me any Arcanas to work with. But there is a king. Unfortunately, it's glass. Alright, again, Uranus keeps popping up in my screen. What is it, 2 pairs? I mean, I've been throwing out, I mean, I might go for endless. The thing is, though, my jokers, admittedly, while these jokers are really good, my deck is holding me back from making a good endless run. But if I get there, I will try to do an endless run. Honestly, this card needs to be swapped out with something better. For now, I'll just throw out the Mercury. Okay. Let's go to the next round. Let's get rid of those. See if we could get anything in our favor. Let's play this one. Okay. Okay, we got something good here. Unfortunately, I have 2 clubs, so I'm not going to get a high percentage or a high multi, but it'll still work. There we go. I'm not in the mood to suffer, only because I'm already suffering here with my apartment shit, but maybe, you know, I will promise you guys something. Once I do move into my new apartment and I'm settled and everything goes well, in the summertime, I will initiate my plans to get my YouTube channel moving with a lot of new content. I promise you guys that by the end of the summertime, I will be producing more Bayonetta 2 videos, like the Pure Platinum stuff. I will be making more Bayonetta 3 videos with the Pure Platinum videos and more combo videos. And I definitely want to get started on that collab video in order to mark the 15th anniversary of Bayonetta. You know, hopefully, if things go well, I will get that started. So, for those of you watching this right now, start practicing your Bayonetta skills so that when I do have the collab thing go live, you can have something ready to submit. I'll figure out the rules because obviously we're dealing with 3 games this time. Bayonetta 1, 2, and 3, you know? I know Ninja Gaiden would give me views, but man, when I was streaming Ninja Gaiden, I was furious and I don't like having people watch me get mad because it's embarrassing to me. I don't like when people see me mad. Because I can get furious. And I have been known to break things when I get mad. Give me death. And give me Hermit. Yeah, man, like... Well... See, this was what I was thinking. All right. I'll give you guys what my thought process is for the final collaboration video, because this will be the last Bayonetta collab video. Okay. The last one made by me. Okay. No one is stopping anyone from making any more Bayonetta collaboration videos. Hell, I'll give them my blessings and I'll even submit my videos for those collaborations. But this will be the last one. And so one thing I'm trying to do is decide what games to include. Now, obviously, we have the Bayonetta trilogy, the ones that have the best combos. Origins is not what I would call a combo-centric game. But I have seen people do some pretty cool, stylish things with that game. Like, CUHRAYZEE has done some neat videos about it. So, I'm willing to allow it if enough people submit enough videos for it, because I don't want a big collaboration video where there's just one Bayonetta Origins clip, you know what I mean? I'm also thinking of including Smash Brothers Bayonetta combos, because I'm reminded of when Redgrave Kyo did his Devil May Cry collaboration video where people were allowed to submit combos for Devil May Cry 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, because Dante is in that game and he's super wild and crazy in that game. In fact, I submitted a Marvel vs. Capcom clip for that video. If you want to, you can go and find it yourself. I believe the video is called Unite, I think. Just look up Redgrave Kyo, that's Kyo. He's a really cool dude. Awesome, man. One of the best Virgil players out there. I was thinking of making a giant Bayonetta celebration video that features all the games that Bayonetta is in where she does combos. So it would be Bayonetta 1, 2, 3, Origins, Smash Bros. 4, Smash Bros. DS, Smash Bros. Ultimate, and Anarchy Reigns. Now, if enough people ask for that and they approve of it, I'll go forward with that. If not, we could just make it simple and make it a trilogy representation. We don't need to go any more crazier than that. Oh, and also DMC. Redgrave Kyo allowed DMC. If I ignored that, it's not because he didn't do it, okay? Well, that's the thing. I know not many people are super combo crazy players, but one thing I do want to do is when the collab goes live, I will open up a section in my Bayonetta Discord where people can not only submit their clips to me through Discord, but I'll also have a section where people can share what they've done so far, and I can give them some advice on how to improve that combo so that they can shape it out. And then when they do something that, you know, they're comfortable with, then they can submit that video to me. I mean, I want to do my best to make this one of the better videos out there. So I will be very, very picky about the clips that people submit. All I'll say is it has to meet my standards for the video to appear. Okay? If you think your clips are not flashy, at the very least, send the clip to me through Discord for us to take a look at, and I can give you some pointers on how to make it better. But yeah, when this collab is set in stone and we start progressing with it, I'm gonna do my best to make it the best video out there. But it will be a requirement for you to at least show something unique and something masterful and something that people can enjoy watching. If you just do a basic punch video, obviously that's not going to be included. It has to look good, okay? If not, it could serve as fodder clips for the end credits sequence. And, you know, I don't want to do that. Let's see. I really do want to try to aim for another good Joker, because this one has been holding me back a bit. Death! Give me that. Wow. Of all the things to give me. The trio. You know what? Hold on. Let's get rid of this. The trio will be helpful for me because I already throw out Full House, and a Full House contains a 3 of a kind, so that might actually give me the advantage that I need. Okay, all face cards are face down. That's the part that scares me now. We have to be super lucky to get a full house from the cards facing down. Oh, this is scary. Let's see. Will we get a full house or will we get anything decent? No, it's a 4 of a kind, but that still works. Yes! Woo! We still got it, baby! Ha ha! See, that's why you gotta thin out your deck. Alright, let's see what we got here. Yes, look, mods are okay. I'm okay with mods. If you go back and you look at the other two combo videos, you'll see that people have used mods. There's one where somebody was playing as Zero Suit Samus in place of Bayonetta. So yes, mods are allowed. I have an idea. Let's give this the death. And now I have the fool that can become death. Let's go ahead and give that the death. And let's go ahead and make the fool become death. She's unpopular for a lot of reasons. A lot of people don't vibe with her, but I will be one of the very few people to actually defend Viola. I think Viola is good. She definitely needs improvements, but she's very good. I've seen players pull off some wild stuff with Viola. If you don't believe me, go look at my special Bayonetta collab video where it was dedicated to Bayonetta 3. Let's see. That's fine, man. Like, look, the rules for the most part is simple. Make a good video. Something that'll, I'm not going to say wow me because, you know, I'm very, very picky. But I will do my best to pick out a video that I believe the audience will enjoy. And also, it'll be something that fits with the music I choose. Because that's the other thing, you know, I do my best to pick out the clips that'll fit with the music. I like making my videos thematically work in rhythm with the music. I mean, if you look at my videos, you'll know that I work hard to make sure that the video clips go in sync with the music. My most favorite edit, I'll tell you this. My most favorite edit that I made when I was working on the Bayonetta collab video came from Bayonetta collab 2. Because one of the songs that I picked out, I'm trying to remember the name of the song. I forgot it, but it's the one where it's "Give It to Me, Baby." Not Offspring. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can find the video, just so I can remember. Hold on. Here we go. Jam session. I got Soul Boots. That's the name of the song. What the hell? The video glitched. Jesus Christ. Is there something wrong with YouTube? Because I'm trying to fast forward to a video and it's like blank. I just want to show you a part that I'm talking about. Yeah. So in the song, I'll just talk about it and you guys will have to look up the video. But in the combo video for the song I Got Soul Boots, there's a part where the song is building up in volume. So it'll be like dun 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 dun, give it to me, baby, dun dun dun. Okay. For the longest time, I was trying to find a clip that worked with that part of the song. And as I was looking through all the clips, there was one that was submitted by wow, I forgot his name. Well, I don't know how to pronounce his name because it's a Russian name. He submitted this clip where he was playing Bayonetta 2 and he was able to grab two enemies simultaneously and then spin them in a tornado and then continually went upward with the enemy. So it was like slowly, gradually going up. And when I put that clip with the song, it just matched beautifully. That was a very serendipitous moment. So stuff like that is what I need from you guys. You guys need to come up with something creative that makes you think it might fit with my choice of music, which is really hard because I can't really reveal what the music will be, you know. Well, you know, maybe we can coordinate and talk about the music choices when we get to that part, you know what I mean? Well, we'll see. We'll see. Because I definitely do want to try to toss out more song choices and have you guys pick them out. Hey man, like, it's all about being creative more than anything else. If you can do anything creative with Strider, go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. Okay, we got something here. Perfect. Beautiful. We're getting there. All right, let's see what cards we can afford. Let's turn 2 cards into lucky cards. Or let's see, what is actually the boss? All cards are debuffed until 1 Joker is sold. Fuck you. Damn. Damn, I gotta decide which card to get rid of. It's gonna have to be one of these 3. Because these 2 are too good for me to pass up. Let's see, what's the fewest amount of cards that I have? I have... The lowest amount of cards I have are diamond, so I'll probably have to get rid of my diamond Joker. I can also, you know what? Turn these clubs into hearts. Well, no, I'm damn, because I'm already using the face cards, so that wouldn't actually help me out. Damn, I wish I could just buy it and keep it instead of having to use it immediately. Death. Oh yes, death. All right, let's see. Let's give it to this one. We'll have to use the glass. Hopefully I get the glass in the final hand. Yeah, let's do it. I could use one more. Awesome. Create a random Joker. Well, I don't need that. Enhances one selected card into a wild card. Damn. Damn, these are good cards. I just don't know what to put it on. I guess I could put it on these 2 Jokers. Jacks. I always call them Jokers. Should be Jacks. Alright, let's see if we get something here. Okay, definitely need to hold on to that. Death! Yes! Yes! Oh my god! What are my favorite weapons in each game? Okay. Off the top of my head, Bayonetta 1. My most favorite weapon is CUHRAYZEE. Bayonetta 2. Actually, I'll give you in details why. Bayonetta 1, CUHRAYZEE. Fantastic weapon because it gives Bayonetta even more of a kit than what she already has. With the CUHRAYZEE, you could pull enemies in. You can swing them around. You could throw them away. It has a unique torture attack too, if you manage to trip the enemy over and spank them. In Bayonetta 2, my favorite weapon is Salamandra, the chainsaw weapons, because it does such good damage, especially when you know how to time the attack. You hold the button when you attack with the chainsaw, and then when it turns red, you let go of it and she'll do an extra swipe. Really good for raking in the points. Bayonetta 3, G-Pillar. I actually think G-Pillar is a very underrated weapon in Bayonetta 3. A lot of people hate it because it's so slow. I love it because it gives you the sickest attacks out there. It has a cannon. It has a swing that does a lot of damage. It has the best witch twist attack I have ever seen. You turn into the monstrous Gamora and you're going upwards in this giant dragon form. Are you kidding me? That's fucking glorious. Let's see. We could definitely do this. We just got to play our cards right. Let's see. Diamond. Hearts. Absolutely. I will convert this card into a Queen of Hearts. There we go. I already have few diamonds anyway, so that's going to actually work out well for me. I have too many clubs because I made that one dumb decision earlier, which is ironic considering I don't have a Joker card that benefits me for clubs. We'll just have to make this work. Okay, there we go. We got it. We got it. We got it. In fact, we got it so much that I'm willing to turn these into hearts. So now we have a flush house. All right. Let's do it. Nice. Okay. Let's see what we can get out of this spectral. Destroy one card in your hand, add 3 random enhanced faces. Oh my god. That might actually be really good. The only problem is it might get like, okay, let's consider the odds. If we get rid of a queen, a flush house, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a house and a flush. When you get a house is a 3 of a kind with a pair. So a flush is when you have the same suit. So it would be a house that has all the same suit. I mean, it's self-explanatory. Destroy 1 random card in your hand, and I get 3 random enhanced faces. See, this is the part that bothers me, because if I destroy, let's say, a queen, that means I lose 1 queen, but I potentially get another queen out of the 3 cards. Of course, it would be better if I destroy any of the numbers and I get 3 random enhanced faces that'll give me a benefit out of that, and hopefully none of them is a diamond. You know what? I'm feeling up for it. Of course it was the queen, but at least I got the queen back. Well, there's not much else to do now. This is it. Okay, once again, Uranus came back. Why do you keep showing me Uranus? I don't like to see that. Oh, and because I did the flush house, I now have the dwarf planet available. But I don't need that. Yeah, I could probably just enhance the straight. Here we go. All the cards are debuffed until I get rid of a joker. Well, we gotta reluctantly get rid of this one, the diamond, because I don't have a lot of diamonds on hand. So, goodbye. Oh, my friends are chatting it up a lot. Yeah, no, the game wants me to like Uranus. The thing is, I don't like Uranus, man. It's a terrible planet. In more ways than one. I'll play this for the time being. Okay, oh my god. I can play a super solid hand right now. Both of my glass kings are here. That means I'm gonna get double. Ooh, oh my god. This is gonna be a wild throw. Hold on. We got 2 glass kings. We're gonna put the glasses at the end. Here we go! Throw them out! I did it. Looks like you weren't bluffing. Of course I wasn't, baby. And there's the seed. You guys can copy that if you want to play this run. Just be careful because this seed is filled with so much Uranuses. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna go into endless mode, see how far I can go. Now, the big strategy is finding another card to replace the diamond I got rid of. For the time being, I guess I can pick up this ballot. Might be useful for some bits. Yeah, I could see it being useful. Okay, Turn a card into a glass card. Well, the glass cards have definitely been helping me. Yeah, look at that. Too much clubs. What a shitty deck, if I'm being very honest. I'll just get more money. I need more allowance, Yorele. I need more allowance. Let's see. Man, I'm not getting any good jokers. I mean, I can't be complaining because I have the one fucking good joker here that's been like riding me through. Damn. Nothing comes to mind. I'll have to pass up. Okay. Let's see if we can make this work. All right. Already I got a full house working with me. Hey there. Let me pronounce your name. Alcacaphus. Alcacaphus. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name horrendously. Thanks for catching the stream. How are you doing, my friend? Let's get the bonus cards. Let's see if there's anything good in the jumbo. Ooh. Glass Jack. Or regular Jack. Honestly, I'm feeling up for it with the Glass Jack. Let's do it. Now for the Celestial Pack. Okay, awesome. Earth is here. I'm so glad I don't get to look at Uranus. Okay, I think we're good. Let's go. I'm playing Balatro. It's an awesome roguelike poker game. It's like poker, but you get to manipulate the game in certain ways in order to gain the big points. It's actually a lot of fun. Yeah, I know a lot of people buy these games because of me, and I'm very grateful that you enjoy it. You know, it does warm my heart when I hear people say they love they love my videos enough to buy the games. That's mainly why I make those videos. It's mostly just, you know, pure love. You know, I don't tell people buy the game. I just let the video speak for itself. Okay, I think this will work. There we go. Yeah, we're climbing up high, baby. All right. Let's go to the Arcana, see if we can build out more kings and queens. Well, we can't, but I can destroy these two cards. So let's use the Hangman and get those out of here. Okay, let's go to the Celestial Pack. Okay. Once again, Uranus is right in the middle of the screen. Stop showing me Uranus! I will take the Venus, though. I'll take this voucher. There we go. Alright, this is the boss that I hate, because now this could potentially ruin my run because it discards two cards at random. So I have to, well, play my cards right. Let's see if we can do that. Okay. Okay, I already have a good hand going here. Let's put... Well, that's pretty good already as is. All right, let's throw this one out. Yes. Ooh, played spades give you plus 50 chips every time. Although, honestly, at this point, I don't need extra chips. I just need multis. I don't really use jacks that much, and I don't even need the diamond, so I'll skip out on that. And nothing of value here. Nothing of value here either. Let's just move forward. Wow, already they threw me out something good. But we can make it better. Yep, we certainly can make it better. Look at that, man. The score is rising, although I'm only making it as high up as 2 million, so I know this endless run is not going to work out in my favor in the next round. I'll buy this, though. Spectral Pack. Let's see what we got. Earn $3 when this card is played and scored. So, we'll give it to the Queen, I guess? No. Well, no, because... Well, it's a seal. Okay, we can add seals. There we go. Standard. Please give me a king or queen. Nope. Just regular old cards. Wow. Already a full house ready to go, but I don't want to give up that glass card. We got this now. Alright. Let's get some money out of this too. Well, no. We need multis. The clubs. That's the only thing I don't have that enhances my my points. So yeah, let's do it. Let's throw this one out. Yeah, baby. All right. Give me something good. Give me death. Well, hang is there, but Damn, the one time I needed the deck to give me low cards. Well, do I really need aces? I haven't been playing aces at all in this run. I guess maybe I can get rid of the aces and just focus completely on the kings and queens. Ah, I could do that. Ah, it's so tempting. I'll get rid of the diamonds. More than anything else, since we don't need any diamonds. Oh, you bought the first blade? Awesome. Speaking of buying movies, I just recently bought the John Wick collection 1, 2, 3, and 4 on Blu-ray, and I was planning to marathon that movie, but I will do that once I find my new apartment, because I'm kind of in the not really in the mood to be watching movies when there's the whole thing about the apartment thing. The only reason I'm streaming now is because, well, I'm done for the day. You know what I mean? Like, as much as I want to watch a movie, I'd rather just, you know, catch up with you guys here, you know? And I'm very grateful that you guys want to stick around and watch what I do. I'm going to go ahead and buy this king. Oh, dude, the diamond came back. What the fuck? You kidding me? The needle. Play only one hand. Do I even need it to come back? When I have the ballot and the ballot has been giving me the multis? Nah, I think we don't need this. Crud. Ugh, and the worst part is I gotta fight the needle. Well, no, the needle's not gonna be that bad because I'm already getting like 2 million points. So yeah, no, what am I worried about? Let's do this. All I gotta do is get rid of the cards. Until I have exactly what I need. And I already have exactly what I need. Okay, however, before I progress, I'm going to turn this into a steal. Just to be on the safe side. That way I can get more multiplications in. The fun thing about this game is that it can make math fun. Okay, we're good. Let's do it. 2 million, baby. $4 million. Look at that. Nice. We're making progress. I'll buy that. Okay, let's see. What else we got? Come on, stop getting me the shitty hands, man. It wants me to buy back the ace I sold off. See, look, I don't even have ace anymore. Suddenly I'm thinking about that song. You know, that song by Motorhead? The Ace of Spades! The Ace of Spades! Imagine if someone made a combo video with Balatro and they play that song. Couldn't be me. Like, okay, I know you want to talk about John Wick, but I must warn you, I have not seen John Wick myself. Okay? So, no spoilers. I know a little bit about the franchise. You know, my friends have been telling me, dude, if you like Shadow the Hedgehog, you'll love John Wick. And it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I would, because there's so much similarities. It's kind of funny. Okay, more money, baby. Ah, this is it, man. This is the part that's going to kill me. Now I have to actually get 7 million points, and the highest I've made so far is 5 million. So... let's see. Turn a card into a steel card. We'll make it so that the queen is the steel card. And I can totally go for a 5 of a kind if I felt like it. But would it even be beneficial? Because it'd be better if I just like get a full house. 115 times 10 out of... No. 5 of a kind is much better. And I'll get these 2 steel bonuses. Alright, let's put this one here so I can get more multis. $8 million! Damn. We're getting there, baby. This is working out a lot better than I expected. Death! Ah, I finally get to see death again. And we're gonna give it to this one. Yeah. There we go. More hearts. This has been a very heartful run. Look at that. I finally have more hearts than clubs, I think? Yeah, I actually do have more hearts. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay, there better not be Uranus here. Yeah, thank goodness, no Uranus. I could totally go for the flush house. I'll buy this, get more multis in. Wow. This is why I'm trying to thin out my deck, because I really don't need these numbers. No. Let's just play a 3 of a kind right now. Yeah. Oof. It's getting very dangerously difficult right now. But that's okay. We definitely have these cards. Let's give this Jack the steel treatment. There we go. 5 of a kind. Throw them out. Let's see what we get. $5 million. Only halfway there. Jeez. Well, hold on. Hold on. 4 of a kind versus... Let's see. 60 times 7. Or 115 times 10. I need a full house. Absolutely need a full house. I have no choice but to throw out these 2 cards. Hopefully I get another king or a queen. No. It's going to have to be a king. Or 5 queens. Yeah. That's much better. Okay. Damn. Yeah, let's do it. Hold on. What? I still have a couple of kings and queens out there, so I don't have to worry too much about it. It's these cards that I'm much worried about. Right. Ah, 2 million away. Ah, I am screwed. I am horribly, horribly screwed. That's it. That's it. Damn. So long, everybody. It's been fun. Yeah. Damn. Ah. That was a good run, though. I don't hate it. Someday I'll be able to play the crazy runs like those skillful Balatro players do, where I just throw out 1 card and it's just endless, infinite times. I would love that. Unfortunately, I'm not that good at this game. Yeah, there we go. Alright, well, I guess that was fun. How long have I been streaming? 2.5 hours, I'd say. Yeah, I think I'm good. I do want to stream more often when I get the chance. And I do want to bring up that one game that I have been playing a lot has been Marvel Rivals. So I wouldn't mind doing some Marvel Rivals stream where other players can join me as we play together. Just keep in mind, I do need really good players to team up with me. I play a really good Hulk and Magneto as tank. As DPS, I play as... give me a sec, hold on. There we go. So, one of the games that I've been playing a lot recently is Marvel Rivals. Really fun game. A little bit frustrating because... You know, the game is new and you get paired up with a lot of players when doing solo queues that probably don't know how to play their roles right. So, you know, I have those moments where I'm playing the game and I get those frustrating moments where players just have no idea what they're doing and then they get mad at me because I'm not the one helping them. So if I do intend to do a stream where I play Marvel Rivals with my group, it'll mostly just be quick matches and just us having fun. And hopefully, I can host those kinds of streams, and even more hopefully, I'm able to find a new apartment in time and I can be able to settle down and feel more comfortable with my new lifestyle. You know what? It was fun streaming this tonight. It was a very spur of the moment thing. I already got to explain to you guys what's been going on with me. I already told you guys my 2 cents about Platinum Games and what they should be doing. What are they doing? What is the miscommunication going on between them, Nintendo, Sega, Bayonetta Live Service, all that sort of thing. I also got to mention, you know, my actual personal life a little bit. I do want you guys to understand something, you know. It's very difficult as is getting back to this YouTube channel and keeping it supportive with new videos when I live on my own and I have to do a lot of things on my own. But, you know, that's why I'm hoping that by the summertime, I can have everything in order so that I can focus on my channel, so I guess there's that. But I just want to say, since I'm wrapping this up, I just want to just say thank you all so very, very much for catching the stream. I realize now that because I'm not very popular, most people don't really bother to watch my channel, especially if it's not Bayonetta related. So, for what it's worth, the chats that we have today, I enjoyed it, so thank you to those that stopped on by and wanted to talk to me. Hopefully I can do more of this stuff. I hear a lot about tomorrow and how we might be snowed in due to the lake effect snow here in Buffalo. So, who knows? I might be able to get a day off and just stream a little bit more. And hopefully I can find some time to just pump out new content in the coming days. And then when it's time to move to another apartment, hopefully things are in order and I get exactly what I need. But until then, I just want to say thank you all so very much for catching the stream. I'll see you all next time. But until then, stay wonderful.
I know that you'll be back.